bring you part 1 of what if Deku married a spider girl. As before we get into this video, I would like to say that this is one of the series I've actually been wanting to do for a while, and thank you one of you guys for actually suggesting this video. Without further ado, let's get into the video. We're going to start our video off with Izuku Midoriya standing there in front of Bakugo and his lackeys. Just like the original canon, Izuku would be protecting someone, but instead of the male kid, it was a spider girl. As Izuku turned around and said, "Excuse me, but you're right," he said with a faint smile. "Yes, I understand this is going the same way as my snake girl what if. Catch me a break, boys." As Izuku helped her up, she said, "Excuse me, you're right," she said in a faint smile. As Izuku said, "Yeah, I'm okay. I'm just more worried about you," Izuku said with a really big smile, but still bruised and hurt. "Here, let me fix your wounds," as she peeled a little bit of webbing that she made from her ass. "Yeah, I understand." As she wrapped it around Izuku's wounds, closing them. As Izuku said thank you, as he winced in pain a little bit. As Izuku stood up and walked to his mother and the spider girl's mother as well. As Izuku walked over there, Izuku's mother came rushing over to him asking what happened. As the spider girl said, "He got beat up by someone called Katsuki Bakugo," the little girl said. As she says, "Thank you for saving my son." "Actually, he was the opposite. He saved me," she said in a really innocent tone. "Izuku, what have we said? You can't defend people like that. Remember, you're quirkless," she said. As, "He's quirkless? That's so cool," she said in a very happy tone. "If you want to be a hero, why don't you be a hero? Train your body and see what you get," she said in a very innocent tone again. As Izuku said, "Excuse me, but what's your name?" "Oh, hi, my name's Arachne. It's very nice to meet you," bowing her head. "It's very nice to meet you, Arachne. My name's Izuku Midoriya," Izuku said, smiling. As Izuku walked home with his mother, and also getting his wounds treated while he got home. As for this Arachne, she got home feeling really happier than usual, as she skipped home that day, really happy. As we do a time skip of 2 years with Izuku training the much as he can. The way his body would be right now, he'll probably be around about the 5th month of his training, like it would look like in the original anime. As Izuku was training that day, Bakugo came walking up to him saying, "What do you think you're doing, you little weak, quirkless nobody? Look at this guy, he's training. That's gonna do nothing when you don't have a quirk, you stupid Deku," Bakugo said. As Izuku got up saying, "What do you think you're saying to me, Bakugo? Anyone can be anything they want to as long as they put their mind to it." "Yeah, right. You can't be anything without a quirk, you stupid Deku, you useless bastard," Bakugo saying. As this annoyed Izuku, as Izuku pushed Bakugo back. "Take that back, you stupid idiot," Izuku said. "Make me, Deku," as Bakugo an explosion ready. As before he threw it, his mom came from behind him, saying, "Katsuki Bakugo, what do you think you're doing to Izuku?" Mitsuki started shouting at Bakugo. "Shut it, old hag," Bakugo said, getting ready for another explosion. "You throw that explosion at me, young mister, you'll be in serious bother," Mitsuki said. "Oh, hi, Izuku," Mitsuki said, as she dragged Bakugo out with his ear. "I'm very sorry for him, he's always like this," she said, dragging him out, smacking on the head repeatedly. As Izuku sighed, saying, "When's he ever gonna learn?" As we skip another couple of years, Izuku is now 12 years old in his first day of middle school. As Izuku was walking around just to see if he could find his class, as he finally found it and walked in. Since that day, since he met Arachne, he's always trained his body. Since then, as now he's as buff as what he would be in Series 6 once it gets released, of course. Once Izuku walked in, he saw everyone was sat down but him. As he went to go sit down, as he noticed the weird girl with spider legs. As he looked over and said, "It can't be her, can it?" Izuku said. As the teacher introduced everyone, as they went to Izuku, as Izuku introduced himself as Izuku Midoriya, as Arakine's ears perked up at Izuku. "Wait, Izuku? Wait, that's the boy who saved me," she said in an innocent tone, but turned into a very evil smile on her face. "You will be mine, Izuku," she said in a yandere-ish tone. Don't worry, she won't be a yandere. She'll be the most dominant one in the relationship. If you guys have seen Monster Musume, you'll know why. As the spider girl's name got called out, as Izuku's ears perked up at that. "Wait, Arachne?" Izuku said, as they both looked at each other in their own eyes, saying, "Arachne, Izuku?" she said, as they waited until class was over, until she pounced on him and hugged him, saying, "Izuku!" she said in a very cheerful tone. "How long's it been?" she said, hugging him tighter. "It's been a while, hasn't it, Arachne?" Izuku said in a struggling voice. She just squeezed a little bit tighter as she decided to wrap him up like her prey in her. She started to wrap him up basically. "Wait, Arachne, what are you doing?" Izuku said. "Well, silly, I'm taking you somewhere private." She put him on her back and started walking off. Wait, where are you taking me?" Izuku said, as Arachne started to speed off, crawling up the wall, as she finally set him down on top of the roof. "Well, Izuku, you're gonna be mine, aren't you?" she said, racking him up again. "Well, it's time for your dinner," she said, as she took Izuku's dinner out of his lunch bag. If you guys are thinking of something else, you complete perverts. As she started feeding Izuku's lunch to him slowly so she could enjoy it. Enjoy every single second of this moment, as Izuku was trying to struggle out of it, but had to accept it no matter what. As Izuku just sat there and ate his lunch with Arachne. Once Izuku finished his lunch, Arachne loosened the wrappings around Izuku. "Hey, Izzy, how long's it been since we last talked?" she said. "Well, I think it's been 4-5 years, I think," Izuku said. "Well, in that time, I've really matured, haven't I?" she said, pumping her chest out in front of him. "If you guys think of that, you pervs." "Ah!" As Izuku's face went red. "Yes, you matured, Arachne," he said in an embarrassing tone. "Well then, we should get back to class now, shouldn't we? Bell should be ringing soon," she said, as Izuku and Arachne both walked downstairs. As we do a year time skip with Izuku is now 14 years of age. As Izuku and Arachne's relationship would have gone close around this time, to the point you could even consider them dating. But most of the people actually teased them about it, as Arachne didn't mind, but Izuku's face went red the moment anyone brought that up. Around this time, Izuku's training would have increased and he would have got a lot harder. As you can see in the thumbnail what Izuku would look like when he turned 15. Imagine that, but 20% less muscly. As Izuku and Arachne would have walked hand in hand down and outside of school. Around this point, Bakugo would have gotten angry. Izuku would have got a girlfriend. As Bakugo the same day would have walked up to Izuku, threatening him, if he ever goes near that girl again, he'll kill him. As Izuku said, "Bakugo, you're fucking atrocious, honestly. You're pathetic," Izuku said. "You said what to me, you damn nerd?" Bakugo said in a shouting tone. "Well, you heard me, didn't you, Bakugo? You're so fucking arrogant, it's so stupid," Izuku said. Bakugo growled in like a Pomeranian. As Bakugo said, "You're not worth it, come on guys, let's go." Bakugo did in a storming off. As Arachne walked into the room. "Hi, Izu. "What's up?" she said, wrapping herself around him. If you don't know what I mean by wrapping, she's basically pulling onto his back while putting all of her 8 legs in front of him. "Well, Rakugo just decided just tell me to kill myself as usual." "Well, I think he shouldn't do that. If he wants to get into UA like he says he wants to, I don't think they'll let him in if he gets captured like that." "Yeah, I know, but he can at least try," Izuku said. As everything went like canon that day when they left school, Bakugo would threaten Izuku to kill himself, but Izuku would completely ignore it. As Izuku and Arachne were both walking home from school, as the sludge villain would attack like usual, but instead of it full on attacking Izuku this time, Arachne put webs out in front of them so the sludge villain would have harder time to get through. As All Might Before the sludge villain could get through, All Might shouted, "Ha ha ha! No need to worry, I am here!" All Might shouted, as All Might threw a Detroit smash at the sludge villain, dispersing it all over the walls. As Izuku and Arachne saw that, as their eyes glowed with pink, not pink, I would say like glowing aura. As Izuku got excited to say, "It's All Might," Izuku said. As Izuku rushed him with a notebook, asking him to sign it, as All Might did so. But before All Might could leave, Izuku shouted at All Might, "Can I be a hero without a quirk?" Izuku said. "Well, kid, I don't know, but you can try at least, but at least you could be like a police officer," All Might said. This crushed Izuku, but he just shouted back saying, "Well then, I'll prove you wrong. I'll become a hero even without a quirk," Izuku shouted, as All Might flew off into the distance. As everything like that came as canon, All Might dropping the bottle, and Izuku rushing in, but this is the only thing that would be different. Instead of Izuku struggling to get Bakugo out, he did it with minimal ease. As Izuku threw Bakugo back, telling him to run out, as Izuku would jump back again and again and again, like sidestepping, just to try and make after images, at least try and make them. As one of them came out of Izuku, as Izuku said, "Yes! Finally worked!" And Izuku would try and do this technique once every day to try and make sure he can do it still. As Izuku would have been hit back just a little bit, but won't be as affected. As All Might saw this and got expired and buffed up, as everything went as canon, used a 100% smash to change the weather. As Izuku and Arachne were both walking home, as Izuku was stopped by All Might saying, "I am here in a weird position," All Might said. As All Might got close to Izuku and said, "Young man, I would like for you to inherit my quirk," and everything would go the same as canon, but instead of giving one for all a couple of days before the entrance exam, he'd get it him there and then. Without any hesitation, Izuku swallowed it, but still felt a little bit cringy for doing so. As Izuku and Arachne both walked home, as Arachne recently decided to Google different types of bondage. Oh god, as Arachne decided to tie Izuku's arms behind his back. "Arachne, what are you doing?" Izuku said. "Well, I'm just trying something new, Izumi," Arachne said, biting his ear. That's all the time we have today, folks. I hope you guys really enjoyed the series, and if you guys want more of this series, please tell me in the comment section down below, and I'll see you folks later. Peace.